some products from GeekChic Cosmetics, which is an indie makeup brand that has a lot of collections pertaining to fandoms. So this is a Sailor Moon collection, but they also have like Hunger Game eyeshadows, Walking Dead eyeshadows, Supernatural eyeshadows. There's something there for everyone in terms of TV shows or movies or just little fandoms, as I said before. So it's a really cute website. And I decided to buy their Moon Prism eyeshadow set. So these are all 12 eyeshadows from their collection, and it came in a limited edition tin. I'm also reviewing their Power Up primer. So this is what the packaging looks like. It's really, really cute. And in the bottom, you have the label with each of the names of the eyeshadows, which corresponds to like characters and moves and all that sort of thing. I'd be lying if I said I was like a hardcore Sailor Moon fan. It's been a while since I've watched the show, but I did grow up with it, which is why I picked these up. I believe you get 1 gram of product. These are loose eyeshadows slash pigments. According to their website, it was inspired by the classic watercolor manga art from the 90s and are formulated to be versatile and super wearable. I would agree that although they're bright colors, they don't come off super intense. They're not super neon. They're very subtle and shimmery and pretty, and they have a nice iridescence to it that kind of sets it apart from traditional really bright neon crazy colors, which I do love, by the way. They're kind of a little bit more muted. You do get a little sifter, which does help prevent a mess, but I think it's also adds a little bit more time in having to get the product down. And I would say all of these colors are quite pigmented. As I said, they have a shimmery kind of formula to them, and they're very, very pretty. With the primer that I purchased from their website, the Power Up primer, I did think that there was a minimal fallout. I usually experience a heck of a lot more fallout, but I think because that primer is so tacky, it really helps kind of adhere the eyeshadows to the lid. I feel like in terms of wear time, they lasted a really long time. Let's see, I put them on, I've been trying them for the past couple days, so most of them I've worn for probably 10 hours because I have really long days sometimes when I go to classes, and they've lasted me all day, no creasing, no real fading. I think I might have had a little bit of fading the first night because I wasn't sure if I was going to use the primer alone or if I was going to use it over Urban Decay Primer Potion, because a lot of times if I am using a base that is supposed to intensify color, I have to apply it over Urban Decay Primer Potion, otherwise it'll crease. So I tried it a couple different ways. So I love the eyeshadows. They were great. Of course, I should be taking into consideration that you do get a little bit of mess with these because they are loose, and you do have to give it a little bit more time until you get used to using loose eyeshadows. They're not as convenient as a pressed eyeshadow would be. But if you're accustomed to that, or you're accustomed to mineral makeup, then you're not going to have any problem with these because, as I said, there's no huge amounts of fallout or like chunky glitteriness to it. And as for the primer, I did enjoy this primer. I do feel it intensifies the color if you weren't to wear any primer at all. But I feel like if you really want to make these colors pop more than they already do with just this or just like Urban Decay Primer Potion, you should use a white base, which is what I normally use anyway if I'm using loose eyeshadows, or if I'm using anything that's brighter than the average neutral, I'll use NYX white base, or any white base for that matter. So I love the tackiness of this because, as I said, it really makes the eyeshadow stay on all day, but I don't feel like this brings out the color as much as you would expect if you're used to putting on a white base. Individually, these retail for $6.99. You do not have to get them in a set. If you don't absolutely love Sailor Moon, I wouldn't recommend getting the whole set. I don't think that's needed. I will list down below my standout favorites that I would probably have purchased individually, which would be Mars Snake Fire, Crescent Beam Shower, as well as Twinkle Yell, and as well as Queen of Darkness, Flower Hurricane. I really like Flower Hurricane. It's a really interesting green color. So those are my standout favorites for the bunch, and the primer itself I think is also $5.99. So they're affordable if you're getting them. If you're only getting a couple, if you look at it as the whole price of the set, it does seem a little bit expensive, but you are getting 12 eyeshadows that are $1 gram each, which isn't bad at all. And so overall, I really enjoyed these eyeshadows. I think they're beautiful and subtle. And if you're someone who wants to incorporate color into your eye looks, but you don't want to fully go all out to like hot pinks and bright blues and neon colors, then this is a great alternative because they are very bright. They are bright, but they're kind of a subtle metallic shimmery sheen to them, and it makes them slightly more wearable and also easier to apply than if it were just entirely a matte neon pigment, something that you would probably find at Sugar Pill, which I do have a Sugar Pill review coming very soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.